Welcome to the Embrace It series, where women with all types of disabilities can be real, resourceful, and stylish. With each episode, you'll walk or roll away with everyday tips, life hacks, and success stories from community leaders and influencers. So take off your leg braces and stay a while with Lainey and Estella.
Hi, I'm Lainey, and I have CMT.
And I'm Estella, and I also have CMT, a neuromuscular disorder affecting approximately 2.6 million people worldwide. That's as many as MS.
We believe that disabilities should never get in the way of looking or feeling good. Both Estella and I wear leg braces, and we've learned through our own personal journeys to embrace it.
For more information and exclusive resources, check out our websites at trend-able.com and hnf-cure.org.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for future episodes and special promos.
We cannot wait to connect with you all and embrace it together.
Can't wait. See you guys soon.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on our third episode of the Embrace It series. I'm Lainey, and
I'm Estella from the Hereditary Neuropathy Foundation, and we are so thrilled to be recording and sharing our third podcast today, both in video and audio, with our second special guest today is Jessica Ruiz from Philadelphia, who is an outstanding and incredible makeup artist. So thanks for joining us today, Jessica.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. Hi, guys.
Hi, Jessica. Gosh, I wish you guys could see. If you're only listening to this, we should kind of just describe what dress Jessica looks like and what she's wearing. She is so beautiful. Look at her.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. I know we met a few months now. It's been almost like going on a year, but which is crazy to think. But once again, social media is just this magical place sometimes where you can just find some incredible people, putting in the right hashtags and forming this inspiring community that, I myself, and I know many of you are trying to create, but I came across Jessica's video. You were doing makeup for a bride, and well, let's we'll go into why that was so unique, your video, but I was just blown away at the more I started looking into you and reading up about you, and we were fortunate enough to connect. So yeah, Jessica, tell us a little bit about the work you do and why you've been getting so much media and press these days.
I am the world's first disabled makeup artist to ever apply cosmetics using their mouth. I tried to go to school for cosmetology, and I was denied all 3 times that I applied. And I'm in the media so much because there is nobody else that is doing makeup professionally out on the field, doing fashion shows and, just really just owning the makeup world.
I love
the way that you guys, the way that you guys are helping me own it.
Wow. I want to, this is my first time meeting you, and it's such a pleasure because Estella talks about you, and I missed this event where you did makeup that I wanted to go to. But before we get into how you became disabled or what your condition is and all of that, I just want to say that I didn't say in the beginning that Trendable, the blog that I created and the project that we're doing here with HNF, it's all about looking and feeling your best when you have any kind of disability. And so we, so many people that follow the blog and who I talk to, and I'm sure Estella talks to, say that makeup and taking care of themselves in that way is just, when you have hand issues like we do with Charcot-Marie-Tooth, is like a last priority for them. So I'm curious if you were always into makeup, like why, we didn't get into like what your disabilities are, but I can visually see, and I'm sure other people can, that you do not have the use of your hands, right? So like makeup is really hard to do when you have any hand problems. So how did you get into makeup?
Well,
and
makeup is
why?
hard. Makeup is hard in general, you know, with
Yeah,
people having full use of their
Yeah.
right.
you know, then, you know, you throw in a little monkey wrench and it's like, okay, so what do I do when my hands don't work as good? You make do. You know, life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. You just gotta make sure it's nice and sweet. So, you know, so, you know, you gotta know yourself. You have to know your
Mhm.
limitations. You have to know what you're fully capable of. And, you know, you have to kind of be ingenuitive and, you know, kind of, you know, turn things that really aren't supposed to be for makeup into makeup, or for makeup application rather.
Yeah.
For
Okay, well,
instance,
we should definitely back up and just find out a little bit more about you. Yeah.
so arthrogryposis is a congenital muscle disorder, and it also has to do with congenital retractors or contractors in the joints. So for me personally, arthrogryposis affects children in all sorts of ways. Again, it's a muscular, skeletal, you know, kind of disability. So for me personally, I'm affected in all four limbs. So my hips are really tight, so I actually walk forward a little bit. My knees are
Mhm.
tight, my ankles are tight. I actually walk on my tippy toes. My grandmother used to say I was her little ballerina.
Mhm.
And then my arms, I can't lift my arms up. Um, and then as you can see with my shoulders, my clavicle bone right here is actually shortened.
Uh-huh.
Because of my disability. And then that's why my shoulders are kind of rotated in. And that's actually a signature feature for, you know, arthrogryposis as well as the hands. So with my hands, my one wrist will actually bend upwards where it won't
Mhm.
bend down. And then my my left hand will actually bend downwards and I can't, you know, lift it upwards. So, you know, it is difficult, especially, you know, being a makeup artist and, you know, wanting to, you know, hold certain palettes and, you know, just do things in the ordinary where in reality I have to do it out of the ordinary. And
Okay, I have like so many questions, but just real quick. I mean, I'm just like, wow. I'm sure people who are listening and watching are like, okay, wow. So
Yeah.
were you born with this condition and like, does it get worse?
this was
Yeah.
something that I was born with. When I was born, my arms were actually tucked behind my back like
Wow.
this.
Uh-huh.
My
Wow.
left leg was completely across my torso, up by my shoulder, and my right leg was curled up underneath me. I
Mm-hmm.
was literally a human pretzel. Um, Both of my big toes were touching my heels. Um, so it's been a journey.
Wow. Yeah, tell us.
Wow.
I know a little bit more about your background, but which I think is fascinating is just how what kind of impact makeup had on your growing up and your adolescence, and what was it about makeup that empowered you and made you want to pursue it as a career?
You know, some people are gonna look at this video and be like, "This girl's crazy."
Mhm.
Makeup literally saved my life. So I was growing up, I was a tomboy. Um, you know, I wasn't all, you know, frilly socks, and I mean, my grandmother tried to do it, but I hated it. You know, I loved being in the mud, being rugged. That's just who I was. There wasn't, you know, a very feminine bone in my body as a young child.
Mm-hmm.
Then I, you know, started getting a little bit older, and my aunt actually did my makeup for the very first time. And I was like, okay. And I kind of, you know, I loved it. But then I watched her do her own makeup, and I was like, okay, I think I could do this. You know, I like the way that she had confidence after she applied it. And, you know, the only way that I can really explain it is from like blah to ba ba boom. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's literally no other way to express that, you know. And it's makeup literally changed my life when I hit middle school, because I
Mm-hmm.
was bullied by a group of girls that, okay, mind you, back up a little bit. I went to an all physically disabled school. I say that because it doesn't matter whether you're in a mainstream school or you're surrounded by people who are constantly in the same boat. You know, don't.
And you still had to deal with bullying, which is
Absolutely
pretty incredible. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you think people are going to be more empathetic and not, you know, be mean, but people kind of
Exactly.
do what to others they feel about themselves, right? So it's actually not
Absolutely.
so surprising that there would be a lot of bullying among people who have their own challenges, right?
Right. I
Oh,
mean, I was called so many things. I mean, I was a tomboy, you know. I really didn't hang out with a lot of females. I hung out with all males, so you can only imagine the rumors that were going around, the things that were being said, the reputation that was building by others, you know, for myself.
mm-hmm.
And it just got to the point where I was like, I don't know what else to do. You know, is it, you know, I just have to curl up in a ball and just be invincible? Or do I own this shit and, you know, really make a negative into a positive? And that's what I chose to do. And my poor aunt, I stole her makeup.
I don't know your aunt, but I'm thinking she did not mind.
Oh my goodness. And she, to this day, she doesn't. But I stole her mascara and I stole her eyeliner. And the very first application, I swear to goodness, I wish that my grandmother would have captured the picture because it was the worst application.
Okay, but this is with your mouth, right, Jessica?
Seen.
Is this with your mouth?
No. So for me to apply my own makeup, I place the wand or whatever right in between my thumb and my index.
Okay.
And I'll actually bring my head down to my hand and move my head instead of moving my hand.
Okay, got it. Because I was trying to picture in my head how you could do your own lipstick. I mean, granted, I don't think it's possible.
Well, although, you know what? That is actually possible. So, I mean, we'll get into that because I've thought of a few ways. I've thought of a few ways.
Okay.
So we'll get into
so
that.
back to how makeup was empowering for you and you felt like you had nobody at school. And I'm assuming your aunt was a big support to you during that time, but like you felt alone, and makeup, you know, was something that you found right then in high school, right?
Yes. So the first application, you know, was so cruddy. You know, I had mascara like literally on the top of my lid. I mean, it was horrible. But, you know, I went into school like that and I'm just like, yeah, you know, new me. And, you know, people were just like, what is going on? Like, who is this girl? And, you know, because I used to wear a big old t-shirt, jeans, and, you know, boots because I had braces on my legs. And it's so hard to find shoes, cute shoes at that, to go with freaking braces. Come on.
Yeah.
Yep, we've been there.
Yeah, kind of started a blog about the whole thing.
So what was like the reaction like after, you know, this new you kind of emerged?
Like a scene from Mean Girls, right? Like
right?
That's how I picture. Like,
Yeah,
she comes
literally.
down the hallway. Everyone's turning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it really was, and especially from the girls. You know, a lot of the people that, you know, just knew me and loved me for who I was, they were like, "Oh, okay, like, all right, Jess."
Yeah.
But the girls, they kind of took a step back, like, "Oh crap, what did we do?"
Yeah.
And they didn't realize that, you know, they were the inferno that was burning on the inside of me.
Yeah.
And that inferno, it did, you know, and that inferno has now grown to a huge wildfire that, you know, so many people are just joining in and, you know, helping the wildfire grow.
Well, so what I think is so, you know, I mean, there's so many things about you, Jessica, that are truly amazing, but what I think is really helpful and cool, I used to do a lot of speaking to girls who had been bullied in friendship, and that was my thing as a social worker for a long time. But taking it to disabilities and whatnot, what I think is so like important for people to know is that what you said, when you kind of like go the way of just embracing yourself and you know, being like, okay, this is what I have, I'm going to like make the most of who I am. And for you, it was with makeup, but you know, you didn't cower it away, because you know that what a lot of times people say is, oh, just ignore it, or you know, it destroys them, the girls who are ganging up on them, it you know, they let that take over their whole lives and how they feel about themselves, and you know, it affects their grades, it affects their lives, and they don't feel of value. You did the opposite, and you just embraced your imperfections, and you're like, you know what, here I am, and even better now with beautiful makeup, you know. And people who are bullies, you know, power, which it's all about power, they respect you. So I bet you your school, those people who weren't so nice had a newfound respect, because there's nothing to pick on someone about if that person is already embracing. They only pick on people who react, you know.
Right. So
I think like, wow, that's a big like message for anyone out there. But okay, back to the makeup. Back to the makeup. So you took your aunt's tools as the beginning, and you said how you applied it, and then like, can you talk more about that? Like, how did you perfect it, and how did you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
So for years on end, you know, the mascara was still on my eyelids, still up there. But you know, all I simply did was, you know, get a Q-tip and just rubbed it right off when it was dry. And I was just like, all right, I can do this. So, you know, so once I kind of perfected the mascara and eyeliner factor, I was like, let's move on to the face. Let's see what we can do here.
Wait, Jessica, did you see my Post-it note thing?
Nervous.
Did you see that? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I feel like you would. Did you ever see my the blog I wrote on the Post-it note hack for mascara? You, the makeup artist, might appreciate. I literally just took a Post-it note, and if you put it right underneath here and post it, like it prevents the, you know, how they make those makeup wand things, those makeup mascara blockers, but you have to be able to hold that. So I just took a Post-it note and stuck it
look,
there.
I have one right here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Try it.
I haven't done it yet because I've been doing.
If you start,
there you go.
Okay,
Just don't
listen,
give yourself like a paper cut or anything.
Jessica, I get in if you start to sell this for $1 million. Count me in. You heard it here first, okay? But okay, go back. I just had to tell you about my hack for being a non-makeup artist.
But you know, then my grandfather, you know, after going into school, and that was a huge issue. Like, oh, she's orange, you know, just like, geez, guys, can I just get a break here? Can I just get a break? You know, so my grandfather took me to MAC for the very first time.
Wow.
My grandfather. That's
a good man right there.
And it is. Oh my gosh, he was such an amazing man. Took me to MAC, spent $50, got my makeup done professionally.
I'm familiar, and lashes count.
Yes.
For those that are listening, what we mean is that you, for $50, if you don't hire Jessica and you're not in her area, which we'll talk about later, for $50, you can go to any MAC store, and if you spend $50 on products, and that includes getting eyelashes for a special event or something, they do your makeup for free. So that's what your grandfather took you to do, right?
Yes, he did.
Awesome.
So they matched me with the right foundation. They matched me with the right concealer, and I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I still have my concealer. I don't use it. But it's kind of like a little memento. I mean, I've had it since I was 11 years old.
Wow.
Where it
But,
all started.
Exactly. So when I get my, my own little place, I can just put it up on the little shelf with a little light going
As
at
a
it.
reminder of your start.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, when you talk about foundation and color matching, which you didn't do at your first shot, but then obviously you've perfected as a makeup artist, for people who are listening and who just don't have access to you, do you, I've always been curious because I've worn the same color, like forever, or the same shade. But if someone was to want to wear foundation for the first time, do they test it on their wrist? Where do you test it? Like when you want to, like if you were going to go to a drugstore and buy it or wherever.
So they say to test it on your wrist. Okay, I'm going to tell you why not to do that. Okay, how many times are you wearing short sleeve shirts in the sun? So your wrist, even though the inner part of your wrist is so much lighter, you're going to want to match your foundation to your chest.
Okay. That makes sense, because that's kind of like the comparison,
And then when you're applying your foundation, you want to blend down your neck.
Yes,
there's two things that you have to take in. Yes, there's two things you want to take into consideration. Okay. Which is the color of the foundation and then the undertone. So the color of the foundation is your base. So that's, the very first color you see when you look at your skin. The undertone is, the color that's kind of hidden underneath a few layers of your skin. So the best way to tell is if you can do this looking at your wrist. So, if you can actually look at your wrist and you can't see any veins peeking through, so your neutral tone. Okay. If you see your veins are more blue, you're a warm tone.
Yeah.
That's what I am. You are too, probably.
Yeah.
Me
And then
too.
if your veins are green, you're more of a cooler tone. So that's the
what if
best
it's blue
way.
green? What if it's like a blue green? It looks like blue green.
So you can actually use either or. So you can do the cool tones or the warm tones.
Oh, interesting. And what are you, Jessica?
So I'm a neutral. So when I do my eyes on the skin on my face, I'm a neutral. And I say I'm neutral only for the fact that I have a pink undertone to my skin. So, and the lids on my eyes are really, really thin. So you can really see like my veins. But for the rest of my face, you can't see anything. So I'm a neutral tone.
So I think that like probably is interesting, like with red lipstick, which some people can really like, they look amazing. I mean, first of all, my lips are, I don't like the feeling of that matte, like super matty, on my lips. I'm licking them too much, but in general, some people look so great in like a bright red lipstick. And I look better if I was to wear a bright color in like a burgundy, probably more so like not in
reds.
Like more of a blue red than an orange red, right? Is that like, right?
Yep.
Is that like play a part with the color, the skin color or something?
With the undertones, it plays a huge, 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 huge factor in, picking even your eye color for, your lids.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely going based off of, your actual eye color, but once you get your undertones down, girl, your face is going to be beat to the gods.
And someone was telling me too about like the shape of your eye, so I don't know, you have it too. Like I line the inside of my eye and Estella, do you line the inside?
Not usually.
Okay. So like a friend who's a makeup artist without disabilities, but that's irrelevant. She said that has to do with your eye shape, whether or not it makes your eye look bigger or if it like doesn't, you know what I mean? It closes people's eyes. I don't know.
It's a huge, no, it does. It's a huge,
I could talk about this all day.
There's a huge difference.
I know.
There's a huge difference. So, I mean, the only way that you can really think about it is, if you're drawing a box, okay, and you only draw, you know, 3 sides, the 2 on the sides and the 1 on the top, you know, it looks very open and it looks spacious. But when you put a line at the bottom, it completely closes it off.
Yeah.
So
I can't really do
me,
bottom liner.
see, you have a beautiful eye shape. So for me, I have the almond eye shape. And
Yeah.
so I can play around with, you know, different, you know, different techniques of, you know, applying the eyeliner. But, you know, that's the best way that I can explain it is, you know, when you're doing the eyeliner at the bottom, you're literally closing off your eye. You're showing off the actual shape of your eye. But when you're leaving the bottom of that open, the bottom of that box open, you're leaving room for like clarity.
Okay, going back to you though, and like what makes you as a makeup artist super unique. I am so interested in like your product stuff. Maybe we can get to that at the end, like what you recommend. But in terms of the disability piece of it, a lot of our viewers have neuropathy, have various types of hand problems, whether it's arthritis or you know, as I said, the neuropathy, and they do have full use of their hands. They just, some of them have a like weakness, just a general weakness, or I have no pincher grip. So even though I put on makeup, I choose pencils, for example, an eyeliner that might be extra long, and I choose different products that I know are going to be easy for me to grip or easier to grip. What do you say to people who say, like, I can't really do makeup because I have hand tremor, or I have, you know, hand weakness, so I can't do my makeup?
You know, you will literally find a way. You know, if you really want to wear makeup that bad and do it yourself and, you know, have the credibility, like, yeah, I did this by myself, you're going to find a way. You know, there's no way that, you know, I can sit here and hear somebody like, oh, you know, I have a tremor in my hand. Okay. If you have a limitation, you know, that deals with the limb that's going to be applying that makeup, you know, and you actually get that makeup on your face and you look at yourself and you feel good knowing that, okay, you know, I have a tremor, you know, I have, you know, limited use. I can't pinch very well. Okay, but you did it. You know, and that's all that matters. And, you know, it's a sense of independence in a way. You know, quote unquote average women, you know, wake up, throw on their makeup, throw on their business suit, and, you know, head on out the door. When, you know, a lot of, you know, people who have disabilities just kind of sit home, mope around, and, you know, kind of have a self-pity party. And no, you know, no, get yourself up. You know, you want to feel good about yourself, try to put on a lipstick, you know, try a little bit of mascara.
Yep.
It's not that hard, you know. And, you know, right back to, you know, some of the tricks that I said, you know, I was going to share with you. You know, you can easily put a piece of Velcro to a bottom of a lipstick tube, stick it to your dresser or wherever you want. Okay. And use your lips and turn the actual lipstick up and apply your own lipstick.
Okay, wait, stop, so that we can like focus on that for a second. So if someone doesn't have use of their hands, you're saying that they basically can adjust, they can put their lipstick up on Velcro, like on the wall. They can create like a place to stick that lipstick so it's in place, and then they maneuver their own body to be able to put that lipstick on. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So is that what you actually do? Is that how you apply?
It's not what I do. So for myself, I would hold just the regular, you know, the lipstick tube in my hand and, you know, go like this.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've been really thinking, you know, because I'm in the process of trying to, you know, come out with an accessible, literally an accessible makeup line.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I think there's a big space for that on the market right now, and you know, I mean, it's a universal product, and I think
Absolutely.
I'm benefit from
I'm
that.
going to show you guys something because there's a
Yeah.
product that is in
Sure.
stores. Okay, give me 1 second because I have
Yep.
it here and I want to share it with you guys.
You know what? The best hack that I ever put on Trendable had to do with makeup, and I'll just share it right now for those who it's my own invention. It probably exists somewhere, but I took you know, like the rings that you put on a cell phone. For those that can
Yeah.
see, I have it on my cell phone right here.
Yep. Like
so I bought these on Amazon,
Yep.
and they stick, and it's very, very hard.
That's a
Do you
great
see
idea.
this?
Yeah.
So I put these on the back of my perfume bottles that slip out of my hands easily,
wow.
so that I could be able to hold it and spray.
I love it.
You can also put it on the back of compacts.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
so this is very simple. They
eyeshadow
have them.
palette.
Go to trendable.com and read the blog, of course, because that's what I want you to do, trend-able.com. Or just go on Amazon and buy these. They're like, I don't know, $10 for a pack of 4. And I put these on here. They're awesome. Also, it helps you to not drop your phone.
I love that. All right, ladies, are you ready to see this product?
Okay, we're ready. We're ready.
Okay. So it's called the Unlimited Mascara.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Now the trick with this, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show you.
And it's called the Unlimited Mascara?
Unlimited Mascara by L'Oreal.
By L'Oreal. Okay.
Right in your store.
Yep. Okay, if people are watching or listening and not watching, you can always just Google it, or we'll put it in our show notes. That's what a podcaster says, show notes.
So professional, lady.
Okay, so.
We should have show notes.
Yes.
So here's the mascara wand. Okay, you see that it's straight?
Yep.
Yep.
I can actually.
Oh, wait, does it bend?
It does bend. It completely angles.
What do you mean?
So it's like a wired brush, right? Very cool.
Wait, I can't see. She's got to talk. Oh,
that's right. I'm sorry. So
oh my goodness.
So this mascara wand has literally saved my life. I don't know what I'm going to do when they no longer make this. I'm probably going to save the actual wand to this and reuse it.
Jessica, you should be writing them and telling them. Maybe they'd make you a spokesperson for it.
That's on the,
hopefully write them.
That's
awesome. Add that to your list.
Yes. So this, I mean, literally, because I can't really, I mean, it's hard for me to, do it regular. So now that it's, completely bent, I can just hold it at any angle.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And apply my mascara. And I don't have to get it on my nose. Yes, because
that is so great.
Yeah. So, I found this and I'm not even gonna lie, I cried. I was like, I can finally do my mascara and not get it all over, not get it on my nose, like the bridge of my nose from the damn bar. Like, we could do this.
And you know what? That we can so relate to what you're saying, Jessica, because, truthfully, that's how people feel, like who wear AFOs and who discover that they can finally wear like cute shoes if they just do a few hacks, or, how people feel when they can, like put on a jewelry themselves using a magnet. I mean, this is very doing it yourself, being able to look your best is the best feeling, to be able to do that yourself. And you were just like so amazing. Like, so are there any other products that you use that you would say, oh, this is like something that people with disabilities might like, or is that why you're creating your line? Because there's nothing out there.
I'm in the works of, creating the line only for the fact that there isn't a line out there. Or, I mean, you can, literally adapt anything that you possibly want. It's just having the right tools to actually do so.
People can put those grippers, the pencil grippers on the ends of brushes.
And I don't know that, but they don't stay.
What about rubber bands? Have you tried rubber bands? Like, because that provides some.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
See, this is so like putting rubber bands, it creates a little bit of texture on and makes it less,
it could probably
obviously gives it grooves.
probably even loop your finger in the rubber band too to kind of help with the grip.
My mom, who passed away, Jessica, she had really, her hands were truly like this. I mean, she, for those who can't see, I'm holding them in like a claw fist. She couldn't open her fingers at all. So she had loops literally everywhere, and she would use to open the car door. She had a rope loop on her car door to be able to hold it and pull it open. She used the seatbelt extender in a car. You know, those seatbelt extenders, they also help with that. But you can tie loops. She had loops, as I've talked about, like with adapting jeans on the inside of her pants to be able to put your whole fist inside to pull up pants. So you are right. Anything can be adapted if you just use some, you know, creativity, right? And a trip to Home Depot, which always makes me feel good because I'm so not crafty, but I've got like a good imagination. So I buy the stuff and then I take it to someone else to assemble.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no,
right?
there's, like you said, where there's a will, there's a way, and
Absolutely.
It's true.
I don't want to leave off without giving people a little bit of you know, information on the exciting projects that you've been working on. I mean, we kind of skipped the whole cosmetology school, which I know was a huge hurdle for you to jump over. I know you weren't accepted a few times, and you finally got into a program and you had to kind of just to fight your way through that. And you made it on the other side, obviously. But most recently, you've been working with some fashion designers at Fashion Week and really kind of taking the whole fashion industry for a turn here. I mean, we're seeing a lot of adaptive clothing. We're seeing a lot of diversity in the models on the runway, but behind the scenes, there's really not much there.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're right. There really isn't much there. I mean, they're you know, they're doing the adaptable clothing. You know, they're, you know, having, you know, disabled models on the runway. But, you know, my thing is, you know, are these companies doing it for, I don't even want to really say this, but in a sense, I kind of do. Are these companies doing it for the reputation behind it?
Totally.
You know,
but it doesn't
like,
really,
you know, they have somebody.
Totally.
But, you know, and then in the same sense, like, you know, we don't want to be, you know, in a sense, we want to be seen as, you know, okay, yes, they're disabled. Yes, you know, they have limitations, but we're still us, you know, and I'm actually getting ready to knock down a whole nother door. I'm actually getting ready to go into the top 15 for the competition for Maxim magazine to be on the cover.
Oh, wow. What do you have to be like? What are the qualifications? What is it? What does that mean? The top 15 for what?
So, so the first go around was the top 20. There were 30 people in the group. You had to be, you know, the top 20 to go to the next round. So this is literally
20 of what though? Like
20 contestants out of the one group.
But like, is it based on like just models, or this is for people with disabilities, or just in general?
No, this is strictly mainstream models. I mean, people that have been in other magazines, other you know, covers and everything. So this competition is to be the cover girl for Maxim magazine.
That would be amazing.
Okay.
So, you know, and I say that I'm getting ready to knock down another wall because they've never had a fully disabled model ever, you know, showing a lot of skin and their scars and their battle wounds.
You go, girl. That's so awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
That's exciting.
That's where I'm going. And if I don't make it to the top, you know, if I don't make it to the very, very top, it is, you know, there's still the principle behind it, and there's always next year.
Can we vote for you? Where can we vote? Is it like people voting?
Absolutely. Yes, it's all, public voting. So that's why I said, it's everything that I've been doing, throughout my entire career, breaking barriers down and, breaking the mold of what, society thinks that we should fit into. I wouldn't be able to do it without all of you guys supporting me. So yeah, I share the link all the time on my Facebook. I am Jessica Ruiz on Facebook, and you can find my business page, Dreamy Eyes Artistry, right on Facebook as well. And on Instagram, I'm Dreamy Eyes Artistry with underscores.
Okay, wait. What was the last
Twitter,
one?
I'm not really too much on Twitter. Dreamy Eyes Artistry with underscores.
Dreamy Eyes Artistry, underscores in the middle of the words, you mean? Between words?
Yep.
Everyone's different, we know that. But what do you think it's so much work what you're doing, and yet you seem full of life and energy. What is it about you? Was it like your upbringing? Like, what is it? How do you stay so positive?
It is literally a melting pot of so much. My upbringing, the support that I had from my grandparents, of them, literally allowing me to be as independent as possible. And even when I was struggling, to, whether it was trying to brush my teeth or, just as simple as, like you said, picking up a quarter off of the ground, they let me fail a couple times until, they're like, okay, you really can't do this. Let me help you.
But no one told you, I
to do
guess
with
my
the
point
upbringing.
is no one, did anybody say to you, you can't do this? Like, or were you raised with,
gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many people that told me that I wasn't, ever going to amount to anything, that I was never going to make it into the fashion industry. I was never going to make it into the makeup industry. I was never going to be a makeup artist.
So how did you combat that?
And,
so how
I
did
do
you
this. So I did this because I'm so sick and tired of seeing the disabled community sitting on the sidelines and, in the background, and, being more so a conversation piece. And that's why I was saying, with these these companies that are, bringing on these, disabled models and everything. And that's beautiful. Thank you so much, but don't use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Worked so hard to, get ourselves into the limelight and to show people that, yes, we have limitations, but we still are human. We still have lives. We still go out. We still go do things. We still work. We still have careers. So yeah.
Absolutely. I love it. And I think, just anyone who has an opportunity to check you out, or you did an article with Glamour, and just to see, it's not just you're unique because you have a disability and you do makeup. The makeup that you do is incredible. It would blow any person out of the water with, a fully able body, let alone with physical challenges. So I think that's something to take away, is that, you're not special because you have a disability and a makeup artist. You are truly, truly talented, and you've had to work 10, 100 times harder to get to where you are now. And you deserve, if anyone deserves to be on that cover of, magazines and having little girls, use like, the status quo, to see you and represented. And even now with like Ulta, they're starting to include, models with disabilities in their campaigns. And I think it's powerful. And you deserve to be behind the scenes. You deserve to be on the covers. And, there's work to be done. So, we commend you. We are so honored that
unbelievable
we're able to speak with you today. And, we're going to be sharing your links and your photos and your videos as well in this YouTube, as well as, on our social media. So,
and people can hire you directly, Jessica, to do their makeup for events. Is that the case? If they
yes, they can.
And you're located where? Are you what area of the country do you live in?
I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I do travel out. I travel all over.
If you were on a deserted island and could only bring let's say you could only bring 3 makeup products, what would you bring?
Mascara, eyeliner, lipstick.
In that order?
Yeah, in that order. Mascara.
What about you, Estella?
Yep.
What would you bring?
Oh,
3
geez.
makeup products.
Shoot. Liner? Actually, no. Mascara, eyebrow pencil, and lipstick.
Okay.
It's tough, though.
I would bring my CC cream to even everything out with built-in sunblock because I'm always concerned about the spots.
Smart.
Lip gloss and mascara.
Okay.
Thank you so much for talking with us. Like, it was so awesome to have you, and I'm totally a fan. So, Estella, thank you for finding Jessica, and like, it's just so cool to know you. So
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited to see what the future holds for you, and it's definitely looking fantastic. So we can't wait to share this with the community and get you some more followers and fans and some more votes for your cover page. So thank you.
Goodness, you guys, thank you so much, so much for, you know, having me on here, wanting to know, you know, everything that I've been through. And, you know, thank you guys so much for having this podcast. And, you know, we need this. We need this in our lives. You know, we need a podcast like this that, you know, is literally trend able. All right, guys.
Good luck, and I'll
Thanks so
vote for you
much.
later tonight too when I get home.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. Bye, Eddie.
Bye.